So far we have discussed about what is environment and what is an ecosystem and what are its types in detail, right? So if you clearly observe the various types of organisms in an ecosystem, you can find a continuous interdependence or interaction in between organisms, right? So mostly organisms are interacting or interdepending on one another for their sustenance. Am I right? So what do you mean by the word sustenance? I repeat, in an ecosystem, organisms are interacting with each other or interdepending on one another for their sustenance. So what is the word meaning sustenance? Here the word sustenance means food. Are you getting my point? So the word sustenance means food. Organisms are depending on one another in an ecosystem for their food. So the way how they obtain their food, I repeat, the way how they obtain their sustenance or food, all the different types of organisms taking part in an ecosystem can be broadly categorized into two major groups. Broadly categorized into how many groups? Two major groups. The first and foremost group is producers. First and foremost group is what? Producers. And the second group is called as consumers. Second group, I repeat, second group is called as what? Consumers. Are you getting my point? So let us see first what is the word meaning producers. Or how can we define the word producers? The name itself, it is telling that it's a producer. It produces something for the others. So we can define producers as the organisms which can convert the radiant energy, which is also termed as solar energy. Radiant energy, which can be also called as solar energy or light energy. So the organisms which can convert the radiant energy or solar energy into chemical energy are called as producers. If you see the definition, it could be a little difficult or a little tricky to understand. But when we go deep into the definition, easily you can understand that. Organisms which can convert radiant energy or light energy into chemical energy. What does it mean? Number of organisms which are taking part in an ecosystem are having the ability to convert the light energy into chemical energy. Here the chemical energy acts as sustenance or food. In other way we can call it as starch. In other way we can call it as what? Starch. That means the organisms which are able to convert light energy into starch or food and make it available to other organisms are called as what? Producers. I think all of you know which organisms are having the ability to convert light energy into chemical energy. Those are none other than all the green plants and blue-green algae. All the green plants and blue-green algae here acts as the producers to remaining all other living components because they are making food for themselves and making it readily available for other organisms. So they are providing food. So because they are providing food for other organisms, they are called as what? Producers. So remaining all other organisms including humans, animals, humans, directly or indirectly, they depend upon producers for their sustenance or for their food, right? So because they are depending on the producers for getting their food, they are called as consumers. They are consuming, they are getting or obtaining food from producers. That's why they are grouped as what? Consumers. Are you getting my point? So all the other organisms, including humans, which depend upon producers for getting their food are called as consumers. So the way of consuming food from producers also would be varies from organisms to organisms. The mode of obtaining food for animals is not same. Some of them may directly get food from producers. Some may get their products as food. Are you getting my point? Some of the animals may eat other animals for getting food. So, the way they obtain food from producers, basing on the way they obtain sustenance or food from producers, consumers again divide into 3 groups. Basing on the way they obtain food from producers, consumers again broadly categorized into how many groups? 3 groups. They are the first one, herbivores, and the second one, carnivores, and the third group is called as omnivores, and the last but not least, we are not grouping them as a separate group. They also come under consumers, but they are called as what? Parasites. Are you getting my point? So like this, consumers are again broadly categorized into 3 groups: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, parasites or decomposers. Parasites or decomposers. So like this, consumers are broadly categorized into 4 groups. Let us first see what are herbivores. Herbivores are the animals which eat plant and plant products as their food. So herbivores directly depend upon plants for getting their food. Their dependence is direct. They take plant and plant products as their food. So such animals are called as herbivores. Because they are directly depending upon plants, they are called as primary consumers. They are called as what? Primary consumers. Whereas, come to the next group. What are they? Carnivores. Carnivores are the animals which depend upon herbivores for their food. Otherwise, or in other way, carnivores are the animals which eat the flesh of other animals. Such group of animals are called as what? Carnivores. So, these are called as secondary consumers. Secondary consumers, or we can call it as small carnivores. Small carnivores. There are another group, large carnivores also there. Large carnivores also eat the flesh of other animals. So large carnivores, for example, if you take here lizard comes under small carnivore, which can eat the insects, right? Whereas you come to the next group, lion and tiger. Lion and tiger are large carnivores which eat the flesh of herbivores. Which eat the flesh of what? Herbivores like deer. Are you getting my point? So they are called as what? Large carnivores. So carnivores are also of how many types? 2 types. The first group is called as small carnivores and the second group is called as large carnivores. Example for small carnivores or lizard or frog. Come to the next group, large carnivores. Example for large carnivores are lion and tiger. Are you getting my point? And the third group is called as omnivores. Omnivores are the animals which can eat both plant and animal products as their food. Here the best example are humans, dogs, bear. So all these are the examples of omnivores which can eat both plant and animal products. Last but not least, the last category is called as decomposers or parasites. About parasites, already you have talked about it in the first chapter. If you see decomposers are the organisms which can break down the complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances. I repeat, the microorganisms which can break down the complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances are called as decomposers. Example, bacteria and fungi. Example what? Bacteria and fungi. The role of these decomposers is a very important thing. Decomposers play a significant role in an environment. In which way? For example, an aquarium requires daily cleaning, whereas a pond doesn't require. What would be the reason? So in an aquarium, there are no decomposers to decompose the waste. So if it will not be cleaned regularly, what happens? It gives foul smell. Whereas in a pond, even if it doesn't require a regular cleaning, we cannot get any foul smell in a pond, because in a pond there is a group of microorganisms called decomposers which can decompose the waste and which can clean the pond regularly. So decomposers play an important role in cleaning the environment, and at the same time, by decomposing the dead bodies of plants and animals, they are mixing the valuable nutrients present in the dead bodies of plants and animals in the soil, which are in turn taken by the plants to make their own food and to build their bodies. So like this, basing on the sustenance, basing on the food which they eat, organisms are broadly categorized into producers and consumers.